Everybody. I hope everybody's having a great day so far. So yesterday I got a request to do a glamorous 1920s look, and I was so excited because anybody who knows me knows that I love this era. Like it's so glamorous and just beautiful. So I almost immediately started doing research on it, and I was so fascinated by the things that I found. So, one of the things that I found out was 1920s is really the roaring 20s was really when makeup hit the scene. Before then, it was kind of taboo to wear makeup. Even stores would sell it. They would have a special back door for makeup because makeup was only worn by prostitutes or actresses, and nobody wanted to be associated with either one of those. So 1920s was when they really, really caked it on. So I'm going to do a look that is an homage to the 1920s, the roaring 1920s. And I'm super excited. So let's jump into this. And like I said, it's an homage. It's a very modern take on it. But there are a few key points that I made sure that I stuck with, good grief. I stuck with because they were what was the it thing. One of the things that I did not stick with was the porcelain skin, the white porcelain skin that they just thought was absolutely glamorous. I did not stick with that. I stuck with my usual foundation. However, I did not highlight the way I normally do or contour because the really round face was really given that illusion, even if they didn't, was the really round face. Contrary to what we do now, we contour, we chisel the cheekbones and all that. So I did not highlight or contour the way I normally do. So let's jump into this. Another thing that I did not stick with was sticking with all matte colors. That was the big thing. Usually you wouldn't see a whole lot of metallics. I am actually using a metallic. I'm using my Splurge Cream in Tenacious, and I'm going to put that on my lid. When I started this, I did not know exactly how I was going to do all matte colors without giving that raccoon look that really was popular back in the 20s. So I kept all my metallics really very, very subtle. I think I did not overdo my metallics, which anybody who knows me knows I love metallics. So it was it was a challenge, and I was super excited to take on this challenge. So I used Tenacious on my lid, and like I said, I did not go crazy harsh with that. I stuck with it fairly light. Okay, now I kind of build up to this black that I got here. Another really important thing to remember when you're doing this look is, like I said, round was the thing. So they made their eyes very round. And that's one of the reasons that raccoon look was so popular, is because it rounded eyes out. And now, obviously, we do the wingtip and we give that real cat eye look or whatever it is. But back in the 20s, that was not popular. You wanted the round. You wanted that dark. They really caked on that makeup. And they did that because it really came on the scene when jazz singers started to take the stage. And these jazz singers would live this glamorous life, and that's what people wanted. So when the jazz singers came on, of course they were on stage, their makeup was darker, so they caked it on. So that's what was popular back then. I am going to use my crease brush. And by the way, I am using other brushes as well because I needed something, other brushes that were a little softer and a little harder than my unique brushes. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Anyways, I will go into my crease right now and above, if you can see, above my crease, almost to my brow bone. And I'm going to use Peppy, which is almost a charcoal-ish black. It's got like a charcoal black. That's the only way I can think to describe it. And that's actually in the Addiction palette too. So we're going to take that. We're going to take my unique crease brush and we're going to go in the crease. Now, one of the things I also tried really hard to do was keep my mattes matte and my metallics metallic. That doesn't work because obviously metallic is sparkly and sparkly goes everybody. Good. I need coffee. Goes everywhere. Anybody who has ever dealt with glitter knows this. So now I've got a good charcoal black base on that lid. Right above my crease and in that crease, okay? I'm going to build on that, and this is where I needed a little bit of a tougher, harder brush. So I'm using this brush. It's got a really pointed end. And it is soft, but there's a lot there, so it was easier to work with to get that black right where I wanted it. So now I'm going to take it from my Addiction Palette 3. I'm going to take Irate. Now, I'm working with black a lot, and I know black tends to scare people off, but this is, seriously, this is one of those looks that it requires black. It requires a matte black. So if you're afraid of black or you don't like black or whatever it is, this really isn't the look for you because, like I said, they really caked that on. They really wanted that pop, that opening of the eye. That's what they wanted. So we are going to make sure that black is black. And we're going to put it underneath. Okay, and like I said, we're going to make it, try to keep it as round as possible. That round eye was really, really popular. So we're going to do that. Oh, man. I'm so sorry. I dropped my camera. Oh, my goodness. It never fails. There's always something. So I'm really sorry about that. I am going to try to edit that out, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I don't know what just happened. Okay, so anyways, we're still doing the black within Irate, and we're caking that on really, really good. Now, don't worry about the messiness of this because it is going to be kind of messy, but we're going to go back and we're going to clean it up. All right, so that is important to know. Now, I've got that underneath. I've got it pretty dark underneath, and I've got it pretty dark on top. We're going to set that aside right now, because I even when I'm working on my eyelashes, I'm like, ooh, I need to blend that more or whatever. So I kind of jump around a lot when I'm doing my makeup. So I'm going to grab just a little bit more of this Tenacious, and I'm going to kind of darken that up. Like I said, I tried to stick to the key points in this look. I really wanted to modernize it a little bit and make it my own, and that's exactly what I did. So if we look, I've got kind of a point here, and I don't have one here. So I'm going to kind of round that out a little bit. And how I'm going to do that is I thought I had enough on my sponge. I don't. So I'm going to take a little bit of my concealer and I'm going to put a little bit on the tip of my blending bud and I'm going to round that out. Now, another thing that I did not stick with is those eyebrows. Oh my goodness, those eyebrows when they, in the 20s, they even drew their eyebrows down to that temple. And I did not do that. Like I said, in part because I have to run around today. So even when I go to breakfast with my family, people are going to be like, wow, that girl's wearing a lot of makeup for going to breakfast. But that's okay. I don't mind that. So now I've got this pretty intense black up on top. I'm going to take a really, really soft brush. Like I said, I used a little bit of different brushes because some of them were just a little bit not the right texture that I needed. So I'm going to take this really, really soft brush and I'm going to kind of blend this out a little bit and soften this up just a tad. I do enjoy the dark. I do enjoy the intenseness of that raccoon eye. I loved it, but I don't want to walk around like a raccoon. So I soften that up a little bit. And like I said, I kind of go back and forth and soften and then darken and then soften and then darken just so I get that perfect look for me. This is something that you guys will want to work with and you'll want to play with, and it might take some practice, but it's totally worth it because it's super fun and it's just gorgeous. So now I'm taking a pink. This is, like I said, not normal. I'm taking Sassy, and it's a pigment, and I'm going to just barely get any on. That's a little bit too much. Barely gets that on the tip of my shader liner brush, and I'm going to go up on top of those eyebrows. Or not on top of on the eyebrow bone. I am having issues today. Holy cow. I can't talk. My phone's dropping. That's just a sign that I need more coffee, in my opinion. So we are gonna make sure that that's nice and highlighted, okay? So then I'm gonna take that super soft brush again, and I'm going to blend out those lines because they did not have lines. A fun fact, you guys, that dark smoky eye that we all love so much was actually pioneered in the 20s. So, you guys, we were constantly improving or looking for different ways, and this just goes to show that. That what we call a dark smoky eye is most indefinitely was not what was dark and smoky back then. This is a very light version of that, and we have very light versions of that. No matter how dark or whatever, we don't do that raccoon eye, and that was what started that dark smoky eye, that raccoon eye that people now people will say you look like a raccoon. You have that black circle around your eyes, and that's what was in them. It was what was popular. So now I'm going to clean up a little bit. I'm going to clean up on the side of my nose with my concealer and under my eyes. Of course, when I was doing the other eye, I had to be listening to some jazz music and some Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire just to get in the mood. I love those Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers anyways. I know that's not 1920s. That's actually considered to be around, I think, 1930, the mid-1930s. But I just needed something to get in the mood for that. So I cleaned that up. I've got this beautiful dark, and I mean dark. Of course, I will post pictures. Dark eye. And it really is very, very pretty. I know this video is going over what I normally do, but this is a little bit different because I've never done anything like this before. Now, here's a tip for your liner. Liners were just coming out, just coming on the scene at this point. So, like I said, they wanted that round eye. So what you're going to do with your liner is you're going to stick really, really close to your lash line. Then, in the middle, very unlike what we do now, almost like the sun rising on the water, we're going to make it a little bit thicker in the middle. And this helps with that illusion, that round eye illusion as well. So I took my liner and I did that, and now I'm going to smudge it out just a little bit. There we go. All right, and then you're going to do your liner on your waterline. Ta-da, there's that. Now, another thing, and this is something I didn't really stick with because I love lashes. Mascara was, once again, just coming on the scene. They didn't even have texturizing wands. They had little brushes that they used. So their lashes were not these big, huge, fancy things unless they wore fake lashes. And at the time, fake lashes were almost like they were so expensive, only certain people could afford to get them. So mascara was easier and a more common commodity, I guess, a more common thing to come across than fake lashes. So that, like I said, that's one thing that I did not really stick with, was the mild lashes. That was one thing they did not play it up as much. I'm going to curl these just because they need to be curled, and I'm going to go and I'm going to do this. I'm going to just do one coat right now, and then we're going to move to lips. And lips were so fun to do. Lips, as far as color goes, it was either red or a burgundy color. Of course, I have to go with red because I love red, and you guys who have watched me knows that I love red. So, I'm going to go with red here. Like I said, this is, I stuck with the key points, and the key point to the lips here was that Cupid's bow, and I will show you exactly what I mean. The thin lips, just like the eyebrows, were really, really popular, and I happen to like my lips, so I'm not going to thin that out. However, I will intensify that Cupid's bow a little bit. I seriously should have been born in the 20s. So, your Cupid's bow right here. Oh. We are going to point that out. Now, one of the things, like I said, this is the part that I didn't stick with, is the lips were really thin, so they would have come, instead of going all the way to the end of their lips, they would have come in and cut off part of that lip with their liner. All right? I chose not to do that, in part because I like my lips. And in another part because, like I said, I'm going to have breakfast, so there's really no point in trying to keep that perfect. All right? So, there that is. I made that Cupid's bow, what I did here is usually when I line my lips, I stay on the inside of that line. Here, I took it up onto the top of that line, all right? And then I made my way down. Fun fact, you guys. It was really popular to do your makeup, to touch up your makeup in public. So you would have women at dinner who would seriously sit there and touch up their makeup at the dinner table because that's what was popular. You obviously, just like now, you stick with certain things that are popular, that is really hot right now, and that's what it was. Now, the dark look for the lips was really popular, almost like it is now. So I'm going to go and add a couple of black dots because I want to intensify that red. And then, of course, I got my excessive. Ta-da! There it is. There's the look, you guys. So like I said, this is more of a modern take on the 1920s glam look. I had so much fun researching this. I don't know if you could tell, my video's over 20 minutes long. So I hope that you guys learned something from this and that you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have any more requests for looks from me, let me know. Hit subscribe, like, share, all that fun stuff because this is going straight onto YouTube. All right, you guys, I love you so much, and I hope everybody has a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.